One Faithful Day, the director of Guardian, The Great and Lonely God, and the writer of True Beauty, birthed one of the greatest K-dramas known to Koreans worldwide, changing many lives in the process. Look at her, she knows what I'm talking about. From the start of a toxic fandom, the proliferation of an actor's career, and comfort in time of grief, the K-drama Lovely Runner thrived. It's been a year since the world phenomenon Sanjay Opko Tuyo, aka Lovely Runner, graciously blessed us with its creation. Its impact on fans is still so effervescent. The day r/Lovely Runner dies is the day I die. I was watching Netflix's new show, Tastefully Yours, where in episode 2, they make an insane parody reference to Lovely Runner. Instead, they call it Unje Ango Tuyo, which roughly means like hug Unje and run. After seeing this, it made me wonder, why are we still so obsessed with Lovely Runner? Was the show really that good? Ladies, put down your light stick and grab your Lovely Runner branded scuba gear, because today we are going into the deep depths that is the legacy of Lovely Runner. The title of the show, Sanjay Opko Tuyo, translates to grab Sanjay and run. Kind of like piggyback him and run. It's a cute fan saying to say that you want to wholesomely kidnap your bias. The Korean title is most commonly referred to as Sunbok Tweet, referring to each first syllable in the full title, whereas the English title is Lovely Runner. It misses the mark on the native title. Like, where is she running to? And why is she so lovely? Someone, please explain. The K-drama is based off of a manhwa, which is based off of a web novel, which I'll get into later. When this show was actually first announced, because of its title, Lovely Runner, I mistakenly thought it was about like a promising track and field star, not Sanjay Opko Tuyo, which it actually is. Why are English titles always so funky? Like, do you know that show, the Pump Up Healthy Love or whatever? Its Korean title is 24-Hour Health Club. That makes so much more sense. Or that new one, Crushology 101, which when I saw that title, I thought it was going to be an adaptation of like the popular manhwa Romance 101, not Bunny's Oppas, which it really is the adaptation of. I digress. Can you please explain to me, where is she running to? Why is she running? Please, I don't get it anymore. Okay, maybe she does run. Sunop Tweet was almost called Time Walking on Memory, aka 기억을 걷는 시간, which is nice, but it sounds way more melodramatic than the show is. As we'll get into, Lovely Runner, as much as it is a like heartbreaking story, is outrageously silly, cringe, cute, and adorable. Aww. Lovely Runner premiered on TVN April 8th, 2024, airing 2 episodes every Monday and Tuesday until May 28th. The premise of the show goes like this. Im-sol is a huge fangirl of the idol Roo Sanjae. When Roo Sanjae ends up passing away, Im-sol goes back in time to save him. It's shot with this very soft yet bright lens that invokes a nostalgic, bittersweet feeling. There are so many scenes I could like go in and dissect, but we just don't have the time for that. So instead, I want to talk exclusively about the pool scene. This pool scene is one of the first really heated emotional moments between Sol and Sanjay, where Sol feels like she is powerless to change his impending doom. Look at this color grade. Look at their wet hair. Look at their emotions. Oh, I just can't. Everyone on that team was just in sync. The stylist, the set design, the director, the actors, everyone just got it. They all were just connected in that moment and they fucking played. They truly figured out how to invoke the perfect combination needed to achieve this melancholy yet hopeful vibe that is Lovely Runner. The whiplash you get from these heart-wrenching scenes to suddenly a fart joke is truly what makes this K-drama so good. The uniqueness of Sanjay Opko Tuyo is what brought it a distinction from the rest of the spring 2024 K-drama lineup. The shows coming out around this time were way more artsy or edgy or just overall depressing. Think Atypical Family, Queen of Tears, but none of them had that nostalgic feel that Lovely Runner did. I remember watching a Mina Lee video recently where she talked about how nostalgia goes hand in hand with recession, where when people are in a time of distress, not knowing what the future is going to be like, they tend to reflect more on the past and tend to gravitate towards things that remind them of the youth. This makes so much sense for why Gen Z and millennials love Y2K so much. And it also makes sense with the timing of the release of Lovely Runner. Lovely Runner, being a time-traveling show, has IMSOL going back in time to the early 2000s. The writers definitely knew that the timing of its release could be a way to advertise the show further. For example, the in-show K-pop group Eclipse always made references to an eclipse happening in that show. The first episode, there was an eclipse happening in the show. And recall it debuted on April 8th. What else happened on April 8th? Yeah, the total solar eclipse. You see what I'm seeing? The writers really cooked with that one. The duality of this show, the heart-wrenching romance scenes, the dimples on the screen, the relatable struggles with mental health, and the nostalgia of your first love all come together to make this show, dare I say, so lovely. The main character, IMSOL, is played by Kim Ye-yoon, and her co-star is played by wooseok. The supporting cast includes Song Gong-hee, who plays the second love interest Taesung. Sol's older brother is played by Song Ji-ho, and her BFF is played by So Ye-won. IMSOL's mother is played by Jung Young-ju, and Sunjae's father is played by Kim Won-hae. Sunjae's BFF and future bandmates, who plays the character Baek In-hyuk, is played by the IRL idol Lee Seung-hyup. He's from the group N-Flying. I have to say the casting choices were very interesting. Besides the two male leads, everyone is super reputable. Like, their resumes are longer than I know how to count. Wooseok and Song Gong-hee are rather unknown in the acting sphere. Or they had stuff on their resume, but nothing compared to their counterpart of like Kim Ye-yoon. This choice of casting more underground actors to play the male leads was relatively a gamble. It could flop or it could hit, and God did it hit. The screenwriter of Lovely Runner actually wrote their version of IMSOL based on Kim Ye-yoon's acting style. In an interview, the screenwriter said, "She thought Kim Ye-yoon was an actor who could do the difficult act of bringing out pain in a bright state. It was so good that Kim Ye-yoon screamed when she was casted." Knowing that this character was written specifically for her makes so much sense, because every part of IMSOL's character is truly the best qualities of Ye-yoon's acting. Kim Ye-yoon, aka the nation's little sister, was born on November 10th, 1996, making her 28. She was born in Songnam in Gyeonggi province and is an ISTJ. She debuted in 2013 in the show Samsengi as a teenage version of the supporting character. She first gained recognition in 2014 in her role on the crime thriller show Bad Guys, but she ended up taking a break from the industry to focus on school. She attended Konkuk University in 2015 with a full ride scholarship and graduated with a BA in Film Studies in 2019. The school praised her, saying, "She's one of the best actors, constantly being picked first for everything." In 2017, she got the supporting role in the mystery film thriller Memory of a Murderer. Then came her big break. In 2018, she got her ever iconic role in Sky Castle. The drama was extremely successful and earned her the Best New Actress award at the Baeksang Artist Award. Actor Kim Dong-hee, who acted alongside her in Sky Castle, said that Kim Ye-yoon during their first script reading made him go, "She's really good. Who is she? Why is she so good? She's crazy. She's so good. During this time, Korean netizens nicknamed her My Melody Princess because she had slay fits and a cute demeanor. Her first lead role was in the 2019 K-drama Extraordinary You, which, like Lovely Runner, was based off of a manhwa. This was the show I first saw her in and truly made me a stan instantly. This show is honestly just her talking for 25 out of the 30-minute episodes. Upon rewatching the show, it made me really appreciate her on-screen energy. Like, she brings her A game every line delivery. From this role, she won the Excellence Award and the Actress Award at the NBC Drama Awards. She was also in the psychological thriller film Midnight that same year. In 2021, she got casted in the TV show Snowdrop. Then in that same year, she played the lead role in Secret Royal Investigator and Joy. Honestly, my least favorite of her works, but I digress. Then in 2022, she got the lead role in the movie The Girl on a Bulldozer. This one garnered her several awards. She can do it all. Emo, hard-hitting think pieces to the giggly girl next door. Kim Ye-yoon is truly a talent. Her achievements further got recognized as she was on Forbes 30 Under 30 list. In 2022, she also starred in the movie Ditto. Then from 2022 till 2023, she took a little bit of a break. That was until Lovely Runner. Side note here, but my dream role for Kim Ye-yoon is to play Mie from After School Lessons for Unripe Apples. I just feel like she would be so good, you know? The actor who plays the second male lead, Song Gong-hee, was born August 14th, 1997. He's 27, born in Gangpo in Gyeonggi Province. He's an ENFJ. Side note, but his wiki page is really lacking, so if you're a Gong-hee stan, please go buff her up. He graduated from Sejong University with a BA in film. Apparently, he worked as a server in Hongdae. His debut as an actor was in the web series Flat in 2017, where he played the main character of a lovesick high schooler. Following that, he got casted in a few supporting and minor roles each year, like a Mystic Pop-Up Bar, Love Alarm, Moment of 18, Joyson Lawyer, My ID is Gangnam Beauty, which was his official TV debut in 2018. Right after My ID is Gangnam Beauty, he got casted in Sky Castle. Who else was in Sky Castle? Yes, that's right, our girl Kim Ye-gyu. The stars are aligning, the fates are happening. Over the next year and a half or so, Gong-hee said yes to almost anything that came his way, none of them being main leads. That was until missing The Other Side in 2020. Then again in Ultimate Weapon Alice. I gigged at this edit of him, he is so brat. He was also in the musical Midnight Sun during 2022. Other than that, he didn't get the screen time he deserved. That was until Lovely Runner. Hyun Wooseok, the titular Sanjae of Sanjaeopgo Trio, was born October 31st, 1991 in Bucheon, though he moved to Seoul as a kid. He is 33 and his MBTI is a hot mess. He is an ESFJ turned ESTP turned INTJ. He really out here collecting the whole goddamn alphabet. He better not touch LGBT though. Those ones are mine. Hyun Woo-suk got accepted into Cheongju University and was working on a degree in theater and film when he got signed as a model, causing him to quit school and focus on his modeling career instead. In 2010, Woo-suk debuted as a model, working in every part of the industry within Korea and eventually debuting internationally in 2015 through Milan's Fashion Week. He made waves in modeling, pioneering the category that is cringe couture that wouldn't be truly appreciated for its artistic integrity until years to come. During his time as a model, his Rolodex of connections was getting pretty hefty. My personal favorite duo of his is him and Joo Woo-jae. I think their dynamic is just so silly.
Do you know me?
best fan of 변우석.
변우석의 절친을 알고 있다. 대박이다.
Wooseok was doing well, being on the covers of Cosmopolitan, W. Ella becoming the model for a Swedish fashion brand. Ooh, how exotic. I love Swiss cheese. And even being a model trainer. He has done it all, except for his early 20s dreams of being an actor. Wooseok started his acting career in 2016 with minor roles in Dear My Friends, Moon Lover, where he played short role of IU's cheating ex, etc., etc. Then in the last 6 years, he started gaining more lines, with a supporting role in 2019 Flower Crew, Joseon Marriage Agency, where he played your neighborhood Joseon playboy. Shout out to this user, Kuzo Votes, for shipping these together. I really like it. The next year, he leveled up and got the second male lead role in Record of Youth. Hey, oh my god, shout out to this TikTok user for shipping these two together. Wait, it's you again. I see what you're doing. Upon re-watching Record of Youth, I truly feel so bad for everyone involved. It's an incredibly boring drama. I said it. Wooseok was given no lines to work with, so his acting is really dry, but the entire show is dry. So thank God that the next role he got was the complete opposite of Record of Youth. Hyun Woo-seok played the second male lead in the 2021 show Moonshine. In 2022, he landed the lead role of a movie called 20th Century Girl, with his co-star being none other than the powerhouse actor herself, Kim Yoo-jung. He played her first love that tragically passes away. This movie made some waves in his life, but as quickly as his rise to fame came, it also disappeared. Then in 2023, he played the villain role in the show Strong Girl Nam Soon, which he absolutely devoured. He plays a fantastic villain, and those cutesy edits of him, I still stand by. That same year, he also starred in the movie Soulmate. The last 3 roles of his really showed how much potential he has as an actor. Hyun Woo-seok was made to be a romantic lead, whether it be your tragic first love, a forbidden love, or even a nostalgic one. He can do it all. The seeds for a toxic Hyun Woo-seok fandom had been planted, but they wouldn't be sown until Lovely Runner. This K-drama has the fast-paced nature of W, where if you look away for a second, you miss something. But with this first love, high school romance of True Beauty, with a dash of nostalgic vibes of the Replay series. The only downtime you get in this show is contained within the B-plot of the brother and BFF's romance, or Sunjae's dad and Seol's mom hating each other. Otherwise, the romance is romancing, and the star-crossed lovers are crossing. Truly, there is so much packed into a single episode. And since I don't want this video to be outrageously long, I'm going to tackle the plot a bit differently. Instead of going episode by episode, I'm going to go timeline by timeline. So the first timeline we will go into will be the OG timeline, the 0 o'clock timeline. This is the timeline where no time travel happens. Then the second timeline we'll go into will be called the first hour. This is the new timeline Seoul created when she first went back in time. Also note, I'm using the words 0 o'clock, the first hour, the second hour, the third hour, etc. because of a certain motif that happens in Lovely Runner, which will become apparent once we get there. If it's not obvious yet, I will be spoiling the show. With that said, let's get into it. 0 o'clock. We start in August 2007. Seoul attends a school concert and gets a crush on the guitarist, Taesung. Ever since she chases him around, fangirling as hard as ever. Spring 2008. Sunjae has just moved into a new neighborhood and now lives across the street from Im-seol's place and their DVD rental store. He now attends the all-boys high school, which is in close proximity to the all-girls high school that Im-seol attends. On a rainy day, not long after he moved, Sunjae sees a package addressed to Seoul in front of his house. He dashes over to her front door. Seoul comes from around the corner, a smile as bright as the sun, and in hand, a yellow umbrella even brighter. She happily approaches him, leaning her umbrella over his head, gives him some candy and hands over her umbrella to him so he doesn't get rained on anymore. Sunjae has fallen so hard in love with her in the matter of seconds. May 2nd. Sunjae sees Seol sleeping at her mom's DVD rental store, so he goes and catches her head as it's about to fall and lets her sleep like this for God knows how long. He later admits that he couldn't do anything because he was so stunned by her beauty. When she wakes up, he gets awkward and accidentally rents a porno. May 31st. Seol confesses to Taesung with a cringe-ass letter. I finally understand why there are no stars in the sky, because they're in your eyes. Sometime between June 1st and the 15th, Sunjae is competing at the 27th annual presidential swimming competition and injures his shoulder, taking him out of competitive swimming forever. Sunjae picks up Seol's name tag on the ground. Seol's house catches on fire. Eventually, Sunjae gets his cast off. Sunjae writes a song titled Sonagi, thinking of the first time he met Seol. In-hyuk takes Sunjae with him to an audition, and they both become idol trainees. September 1st, Seol falls asleep on a bus. Sunjae stays with her, wanting to watch over her, but too nervous to wake her up. At a stop near a reservoir, Seol finally wakes up and without thinking gets off. Sunjae dropped his bag, so he gets off one stop later. He gets in a taxi to go find Seol, and good thing because Seol encounters a killer who kidnaps her and attacks her. Sunjae sees and runs towards her. She falls into the reservoir. He goes after her, saves her from drowning, and then fights the killer. The cops come soon after and lock him up. The yellow and orange hues, the bright green grass, and Seol and Sunjae's blood. A crazy scene. The worst part is how Sunjae cries out to the unconscious Seol that he's sorry that he didn't wake her up earlier. Seol is in the hospital needing life-saving surgeries. She has lost her memories of that day and is enraged at whoever saved her, wishing she had died instead because now she is paralyzed from the waist down. She hurls insult after insult at the boy she doesn't know outside of her hospital room. It's Sunjae. He's gripping onto his watch, trying to hold back his agonizing sobs. Seol's mom never tells her who it was that day who saved her. Sometime in February of 2009, Taesung gets into a fight, causing him to get expelled, while all the others graduate high school. In May that same year, Eclipse debuts with Sunjae's song Sonagi. July 22nd, Seol is in the hospital still. Visibly, she looks distressed. She gets a phone call. Hi, can you hear my voice? It's Sunjae. He and the rest of Eclipse are on a radio show where the host asks each member to randomly call a number. With basic deduction skills, we can conclude that Seol was not accidentally called that day by Sunjae, but rather he very much did it on purpose. Seol realizes she can hear the idol's voice both on her phone and coming from the radio next to her. Sunjae continues, "Hello, my name is Ru Sunjae." Seol retorts, "So? Do you know who I am?" "I don't." Sunjae is taken aback. In-hyuk chimes in and says, "You know, Eclipse, we debuted 2 months ago." Seol cuts him off and says, "I said I don't know," in a harsh tone, and the radio host, now ready to end the phone game, offers Seol a gift of new running shoes. This triggers Seol. In a sharp tone, she yells, "I don't need them!" The Eclipse members look uncomfortable, while Sunjae's face is brewing with mixed emotions, sadness, hurt, but never once shock. The host offers a different gift, like a bike. Seol starts to yell, "A gift? Can you make me walk? That's what I want. If you can't do that, then why are you calling me for nothing?" The last line causes her savior, Sunjae, to swell up in tears. "Is it fun to make jokes like this? How lucky are you guys? Your lives must be so fun," sarcastically she says, all while annoyingly driving a dagger deep into Sunjae's already darkened heart. "Somewhere out there are people who don't want to live because it's so nice out. Don't call me again." That's when Sunjae says, "By any chance, are you listening? You're listening, right? Thank you for being alive. It's a relief that you're alive. The ones by your side will say thank you for that." She's reminded of her mother. Sunjae, in his soft tone, continues, "So, for today, try living, since it's so nice out. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain, so while waiting for the rain to stop, try to live again. Then someday, a day may come when living doesn't feel so bad. The call ends. Then the host plays Sudden Shower, the song Sunjae wrote about Seoul. Seoul cries in her mother's arm. Sunjae's words will never leave her mind. Over the years, Seoul has become a die-hard stan of Sunjae. She hasn't been able to get a full-time job, so she works as a freelance editor for YouTubers instead. She owns a lot of Sunjae merch, including his high school watch and these ugly-ass dolls of him. She also adopts the username Sunjaeopgo in Sunjae's Fan Cafe, which is how we get the title of the show. In 2013, Sunjae told the story of how he wrote Sonagi, admitting it was about his first love. He retells the story of how him and Seoul met, and how she took his breath away. Sunjae begins working as an actor. Then in 2017, Sunjae goes on hiatus, affecting the success and relationship between him and his bandmates. Rumors of him having depression and insomnia, as well as many haters wanting him to leave the group, grow day by day. December 31st, 2022. Eclipse has a comeback concert titled Encounter End, the first one since their 5-year break. It's also the first concert Seoul will ever be attending. That is, until she has a job interview that turns her down because she's disabled, and then she loses her ticket and is forced to listen to the concert outside the venue. But Seoul is Seoul, which means she has hope. She still has fun even if she can't see Sunjae. Back in the dressing room, Eclipse members have so much tension, with Inhyuk and Sunjae's once close relationship being the most strained. Sunjae has just told him that he's retiring. That night, Seoul is on Hangang Bridge when her electric wheelchair breaks down. A tinted van pulls up and Spring Snow plays. It's her favorite idol, Sunjae. He's dressed in all black with a black umbrella. When he approaches Seoul, he extends his umbrella to cover her head, just like she did the first day they met. Seoul's mouth is wide open, pure shock, tears starting to form in her eyes. Sunjae says, "Why are you here? Is your wheelchair broken?" He notices her shivering body. He gives her his hand warmers. He continues, "But why are you crying?" In Panmal, he's flirting! "I didn't make you cry." Seoul explains it's because she's an overjoyed fan. Sunjae's eyes fill up with tears. He lets out a soft scoff under his breath. He says, "How funny. 재미네." Seoul thanks him for everything he's done and for existing in this world. He gives her his umbrella, and in return, she gives him a jar of candy that he's known to like. The same candy she gave him in 2008. Seoul's friend drives her home, and Sunjae secretly follows, watching her from afar as she wheels herself into her family's apartment. Sunjae goes to his hotel room. He's overlooking the hotel's pool from his balcony, face darkened, filled with thought. Look at this blue lighting. If that's not depression, I don't know what is. Seeing his first love after many years, and yet she hasn't changed at all. His doorbell rings, but he doesn't move. That night, he ends up committing suicide. He is rushed to a hospital. Seoul receives the news. She is shocked. She just saw him. How can this be? She storms out of her house, heading for the hospital he's at. On the way there, in her panicked state, she accidentally falls out of her chair and her watch goes flying. Crying, distressed, she drags herself through a trench to retrieve it. The clock turns midnight. The start of 2023 is here. Sunjae's body grows cold, and Seoul's watch, which is really Sunjae's watch, lights up with 3 hours on the clock. The words Sunjae said to her echo in her head. "Thank you for being alive." But why isn't he alive? He loves snow, and it's snowing. How could this have happened? Wanting nothing but the chance to change Sunjae's fate, she clutches his watch, hitting the buttons by mistake, and is miraculously sent back in time. The first hour. Seoul is sent back in time to 2008, June, when she and Sunjae are 19. She wakes up in her high school classroom, shocked to see that her legs are still working. And what does she do with them? Run to Sunjae. Sunjae is at the 2008 Beijing Olympic practice game for swimming. This is where we get Seoul's first ever Sunjae! She runs over to him and hugs him, then says something like, "It must have been hard and lonely," then ends with a, "I love you, Sunjae." Meanwhile, he's just there like, then she gets dragged away by security. The next day, Sol is waiting for Sunjae in front of school when it starts to rain. Sol is umbrella-less, so Sunjae goes over to her and shares his umbrella with her. Sol is reminded of his impending death and cries. Sunjae is like, "Why are you crying? Why do you always cry when you see me?" This encounter leads us to the silly, naturally conversation. "I'm a swimming fan. My dog was a good swimmer, so naturally I became a fan of the sport. So naturally, when I heard of you, the ace of swimming, I naturally went there to cheer you on. But then when I saw you, I naturally was reminded of my dog and naturally started..." He's not having any of it. The same day, Taesung beats up some punks and Sol jumps in to lecture them about smoking, but instead she gets got and Taesung gives her the nickname Nunim. The next day, Sunjae runs down the bus so Sol can get off. Then Sol shoves her fingers up his nose. Sol tries to tell Sunjae he can't participate in the next swim meet because that's where he gets his shoulder injury. Obviously, he's confused, and when she tries to explain why, she finds out that time stops when she tells him about the future. Sol's plan B to stop Sunjae then becomes to gaslighting him via shamanism. But then she runs into Taesung and applies ointment onto his hands. Taesung levels up Sol from Nunim to Harmony. That night, Sol follows Sunjae to the school's swimming pool. They have their emotional argument in the pool. Sol then almost gets hit by a car, but Sunjae grabs her and holds onto her with pure desperation. This is when the viewers get flashbacks to his one-sided crush on Sol, giving us so much context as to why he wasn't freaked out by all the shit she's been doing. Sol and Sunjae walk home together. After Sol goes inside, Sunjae aggressively chucks kisses at her, then decides he's going to confess after his swimming competition. Sunjae participates in the mentioned swim meet and Sol goes to watch. He gets first place, baby. He and Sol goes on a date that isn't a date and take the famous photo booth photos. And Sunjae fumbles his confession the entire time. At swimming practice, Sunjae gets the same shoulder injury he got back in the 0 o'clock timeline. Sol tells Taesung she cancels her confession and Taesung cancels her cancellation. Taesung and Sol stop the fire in house, bringing back her hope that she can in fact change the future. Sunjae, after a hot minute of arguing with his dad over what to do, decides to get a surgery for his shoulder. Sol accidentally chugs alcohol and starts stalking Sunjae at the swimming pool. Sol hits Sunjae with her rizzy pickup lines, and then together they listen to music on Sol's recorder. This is when dumbass Sunjae decides this is the best time to confess. And drunk Sol responds with, "I'll always stay with you. I'll keep your dark, scary thoughts away. I'll be there for you when you're lonely, so stay alive." He cuts her off and then kisses her. Sound the alarm, we got a first kiss, everyone. That 45-degree angle to kiss her must have been so uncomfortable. Of course, Sol was drunk, so she doesn't remember any of this, but her recorder was on, so she could learn about his confession if she plays the tape back. The next day, on July 19th, Sol is walking to school. Sunjae is running to catch up to her when Taesung comes popping out of nowhere like the second male lead he is, stopping Sol in her tracks. She takes out her earbuds, missing her from hearing Sunjae's confession. Taesung then asks her if she wants to date. She goes, "Huh? What?" And her watch goes beep beep and sends her to the future. All while from afar, Sunjae is watching. High school Sol takes over her body again with no memories of what time-traveling Sol did. So she lived her life without any memories of Sunjae. She dates Taesung for a bit, but other than that, the next 15 years go about the same. Now we jump to the day Sol time travels back to, which is midnight, January 1st, 2003. She's exactly where she was in the first timeline, in the trenches, legs paralyzed, Sunjae still gone. The next day, she is interviewed by the police, who found the photo of them from high school among Sunjae's belongings and want to ask her about yesterday, as she was the last person to see him alive. The clock hits midnight, and Seol's watch starts to glow. She hits the button as the 3 turns into a 2, and a new timeline starts. The second hour. Continuing from the first hour timeline till July 19th, which is when time-traveling Seol leaves and teenage Seol comes back. 10 days have passed from then. During that time, Sunjae got his brace off, teenage Seol forgot all her memories that time-traveling Seol made while in her body, and teenage Seol started dating Taesung. July 29th is when time-traveling Seol comes back to. She wakes up in the middle of a self-requested exorcism. Seol's new plan to stop Sunjae from dying is to stop him from debuting as an idol and help him learn about mental health practices. At school, Seol goes to Sunjae with the gift of mental health books and stretching equipment. Sunjae is not having it. Taesung catches on that his harmony is back. #GILFLove. Seol heads-butts Sunjae's nemesis after the jerk brings up Sunjae's dead mom. The CEO of Sunjae's future company approaches In-hyuk and Sunjae on campus and gives them his card. Seol sneaks into Sunjae's bedroom. In-hyuk overhears that Taesung only started dating Seol to get his stalker off his back. Sunjae learns that Seol doesn't remember about his confession at the pool. No, duh, idiot. Seol and Taesung go on a date where she unknowingly tries to break up with him on his birthday. This is where we get the iconic "I like you Taesung" video. This is when Seol comes to the conclusion that young her really likes Taesung, and that time-traveling her doesn't really have the right to interfere with what young her wants. Ultimately, she will be forced to go back to her timeline, the future. So she decides not to end things with him, but instead give him a strong talking to, not to treat young her poorly. Seol falls asleep on a bus, not waking up until the last stop. She gets into an uncomfortable situation with a drunk man, and Sunjae, who saw her asleep on the bus and was trying to catch up, comes and helps. Seol gets pushed into the reservoir and Sunjae jumps in after her. She's like, "Hey, this feels kind of familiar," and comes to understand that in the 0 o'clock timeline, Sunjae was the one who saved her on that fateful day. She starts to cry, thinking back to all of the harsh words she yelled at him back then. She thinks to herself, was it my memory I lost that day, or was it you? Maybe that's why I'm here, so I can meet you again. Poetry. On the taxi ride back, she asks him if they ever met before, and he tells her about their first meeting. Seol creates a fake rainbow for Sunjae. Then they bury their time capsule and promise each other they will meet on Honggang Bridge on January 1st, 2023, right at midnight, and open it together. Sunjae gives Seol his tie. Taesung and Sunjae have a petty little fight. Sometime between August 7th and the 10th, Seol and Sunjae go to see a movie because Seol doesn't want Sunjae to see his nemesis competing in the 2008 Olympics. Her efforts are to no avail as he still ends up seeing his nemesis win a gold. But to her surprise, he's cheering him on. They have a heart-to-heart about it afterwards, and Sunjae says, "Even if I knew I wouldn't be able to swim back then, I would have done it anyways. I have no regrets. How else would I have known I loved it?" Such comforting words for Seol to hear. No matter how many times she time travels, there is only so much she can change. But the sad times that stay don't outweigh the happy ones. August 11th, Seol goes to the police station near the reservoir. From the incident, they had retrieved her wallet but not her phone. This is the same day that the first body of the serial killer was found. This is also the anniversary of Seol's father's passing. Sunjae teaches Seol how to ride a bike because her father never got to. Spring snow plays during their super cute interaction. This scene had such a powerful line in it. After riding for a while, Seol is like, "Let's go again." Sunjae says, "Are you sure you might not be able to walk tomorrow?" Then she says, "Exactly, since I might not be able to walk tomorrow." All while she has a bright smile on her face. This scene flawlessly encapsulates why the director wanted Ye Yoon to play Seol. Like he once said, Ye Yoon is the perfect actress to display Seol's bright sadness. Eclipse is playing at a festival, so In-hyuk and Sunjae go shopping. Sunjae buys a jacket that looks like something Taesung would wear out of pure pettiness. The girls are fighting. Turns out it is something he would wear because he's wearing it. Then in the most awkward double date ever, Taesung, Seol's BFF, and Sunjae all get coffee before the band plays. When they do go on stage, Eclipse's original singer wasn't able to come, so Sunjae fills in. Seol is enamored. Technically, this is the first time she's ever seeing him sing in person. Afterwards, the CEO tries to recruit Sunjae again. Sunjae wins a phone from this festival and gives it to Seol. She blows up at him, worrying that he might become an idol after this. She tells him to only think about himself. The next day, Seol overhears the rumors going around about why Taesung started to date her. She goes to him, headbutts him, and breaks up with him, being disappointed that he could treat our Seol like that. While on her way to catch the bus, she finally plays her tape, and Sunjae's confession from the pool starts to play. As we are nearing the confession part, Sunjae runs to her and says, "You told me only to think about myself. Then, can you break up with him? If that's what I want, can you do it?" His roundabout confession overplays with his first one on her tape. Seol is shocked. Then she runs away. Sunjae hears from Taesung that he got dumped and is giggling for joy. Later that day, Seol's brother knocks out Sunjae, so he ends up letting the guy sleep in his bedroom at their house. Seol sneaks in to watch him sleep. Then one thing leads to another and they end up like this. Sunjae and Seol sit next to each other in one of those scary Korean study cafe library thingies. Then they get dinner and walk home together under one umbrella while it rains. Taesung and Seol then get some closure on their relationship, with him realizing he did actually like her. As Taesung is going home, all heartbroken, he gets into an accident and becomes physically broken. Seol goes to the police near the reservoir again to warn them that something bad is going to happen to her on the 1st of the month, August 23rd. Seol and Sunjae go to watch the Olympic baseball match of Cuba versus South Korea. Amidst the joy of their team winning, he pulls her aside and gives her a proper confession. He says, "I used to hate rain. After swimming all day, I would get wet again, and it really pissed me off. But the day I met you, it was raining. I liked the rain that day." Seol's response gets cut off because they find out that her mother is in the hospital. At the hospital, she works up the courage to reject him. Her inner dialogue tells us she's doing it not because she isn't also in love with him, but because she will eventually have to go back to her own timeline soon. September 1st, it's about 10 p.m. Seol has been inside all day, even skipping school to make sure she stays safe in this timeline. Sunjae sends her an email being like, "Why didn't you go to school? Is it because of me? Let's talk. I'll be at the playground waiting." It starts to rain. She gets concerned and leaves her house to go find him. A mailman walks by her while she's holding her yellow umbrella, and the forgotten memories of the day that Sunjae fell in love with her suddenly flood back in. She recalls an interview Sunjae from the OG timeline gave of his inspiration for Sonagi, and she goes, "Damn, since then? He's been head over heels for her forever, baby!" She picks up her speed, ready to go see her mans. A taxi suddenly cuts her off. It's the killer. Boo! He kidnaps her, ties her up, and heads near the reservoir. A sad Sunjae goes back home when he sees Seol's yellow umbrella laying in the middle of a street. He turns around and starts frantically searching for her. His brain is working overtime, putting together all of the strange words Seol has said to him over the months they've known each other regarding her leg and the accident that's soon to occur. He springs to the reservoir. Meanwhile, Seol has freed herself by cutting the ropes around her waist with an object nearby. She is in the back of the car and grabs the keys still in the engine to stop the killer from coming after her and making a break for it, running out of the car as fast as she can. The head detective of the police station was feeling an ominous vibe in the air, so he also decided to go check on the area too. Seol is sprinting for dear life when she sees Sunjae and the detective and collapses in the safety of Sunjae's arm. While still out of breath, she says, "I'm alive." Her watch flashes, and we are taken back to New Year's 2023. In that 15-year skip, we learn about a few things. Seol's legs never get paralyzed, and she never becomes an Eclipse fan. Sunjae still debuts, but never ended things, meaning their bridge meeting never happened. Him and his bandmates have a good relationship, with In-hyuk and him being the best of friends. Sunjae doesn't take antidepressants or have insomnia. Seoul went to university and majored in film or communications or something. She landed a job at a production company, the same one that discriminated against her in the OG timeline. Sunjae, when he gets drunk, goes to Seoul's old house and reminisces. We get an example from 2012, 2014, and 2019. Sunjae also has never dated anyone. Now, going back a little bit, since teenage Seoul took over her body after the kidnapping on September 1st, 2008, the murderer never got arrested. Then on May 10th, 2009, while she is in university between midnight and 1 a.m., Seoul gets kidnapped again by the murderer. Sunjae found her books on the street, heard her scream, and chased after her, fighting the murderer, getting a permanent scar on his forehead, but ultimately subdues the guy. That same month, Sunjae stands as witness in court, helping lock away the motherfucker for good. Afterwards, Sunjae keeps on trying to check up on Seoul to see how she's doing, but she confesses that although she is extremely thankful, she can't see him anymore because when she does, she gets PTSD and gets scared. In June of 2022, Sunjae hears that the place where they buried their time capsule is getting demolished, so he goes over in a badass fit and digs it up. Back to 2022, the murderer gets released. Like in the previous timeline, time-traveling Seoul gets transported to New Year's, January 1st, 2023. This timeline, she is on the set of a drama. She rushes over to Hungang Bridge, getting there an hour and a half late than her and Sunjae's initial meeting time they promised each other way back when. For him, I guess. Because of this, she misses him. But really, he was there waiting for her too for over an hour. When Sunjae is back home, his stalker fan tries to get into his house. He calls the cops and the cops mistake a soul standing outside of his apartment complex as the stalker. Sunjae opens the time capsule, finding Seoul's letter she wrote to him about passing time being a gift and thanking him for being alive, along with a watch, which she said represent Sunjae's time not stopping. Seoul's company is trying to cast Sunjae in a show, but because of Seoul being mistaken for the stalker, their professional relationship is strained, so her boss tells her she must go apologize and get him in the show. Instead, she accidentally knocks Sunjae into a fountain. The next day, she goes to apologize, this time bringing yellow flowers to his concert. The same concert from the 0 o'clock timeline, but I guess their schedule got pushed back in this one. Sunjae's manager is like, hell no, don't talk to him, Seoul, but then takes the flowers and puts it in his dressing room. Once the concert ends, Sunjae sees them, reads the card on it. Initially, he's like, bro, was it in Seoul? And the manager is like, wait, you know her? I thought she was just like full of shit. Then Sunjae runs to Seoul, who is waiting for him on the bridge. Yellow umbrella and scarf on hand while it snows. Seoul gets a call from an unknown number. She answers it. It's me. She turns around and Sunjae is there. She goes over and moves her umbrella to cover his head as spring snow plays. They talk for a bit, then she asks to stay the night together. They eventually end up in his house. Seoul opens up about how scared she was back then that he would die. They spend the entire night kind of talking, kind of not. The sun is rising when Sunjae goes to drop Seoul back off at her house. Before leaving, Seoul finally has enough courage to tell him the truth. I also liked you. I couldn't tell you back then, but I promised myself I would when I saw you again. Seoul goes inside into her house, while Sunjae is shocked to his core. He eventually snaps out of it and runs to catch up with her, stopping her front door from closing just in time. He's like, wait, so we felt the same? Then what about now? The neighbors open their door. Seoul, scared that they'll see the famous dude with her, pulls Sunjae inside. Now they are inches away from each other's face. The music stops playing. The camera lets their gaze linger. Seconds feel like hours. Sunjae leans in. Seoul pulls away. He stops in his tracks. Maybe he read the signals wrong. Seoul closes the distance and kisses him, and Minnie's love song plays. He starts kissing her back. Oh, this is not your mother's Kdrama. Saliva was exchanged that day. The passion, the desperation, the longing. This kissing nailed it all. I love that Seoul was the one to make it clear to him. She's not here to play anymore. This is her timeline. Her story was made. After their long makeout session, Seoul and Sunjae smile at each other. It's so fucking cute. This is how romance is done. Yep. Later that evening, Seoul is waiting for a call from Sunjae. It never comes. On the TV, she sees the most devastating news. An attacker broke into the hotel room Sunjae was staying in, the same hotel with the same setup as in the previous timeline. Sunjae was stabbed by Seoul's attempted murderer as revenge for locking him up. Sunjae is now in critical care. Seoul meets with the detective and learns about the 2009 attack. She is scrambling to find Sunjae's watch, as he lost it years ago. She eventually does, and once midnight hits, she taps the button, sending her back in time for the very last time, this time to stop the murderer for good. This second-hour timeline really enthralled fans. First of all, the romance, and second of all, the emphasis on the murderer plotline really gave fans new materials to make theories with, especially in retrospect with the 0 o'clock timeline. The third hour. Seoul transports to March 17th, 2009, a bit over 6 months since she was last here, which means she has like 3 months until the second kidnapping happens. Her plan for this timeline is simple. Lock up that motherfucker and stop Sunjae from interacting with him. Sunjae and Seoul are in a fancy university. Sunjae is studying PE and Seoul in communications. Sunjae wrote the song Sonagi sometime here too. Inyuk is on a mission to convince Sunjae to leave school, forget about Seoul, and join Eclipse. Taesung graduated high school and started an online fashion brand. Seoul wakes up on a statue on her university campus. She falls off and Sunjae catches her. Seoul goes to the detective and finally reports the '08 kidnapping, including the killer's real name, hands over his car keys, and gives him all the information that she got from the future. She runs into Taesung and they have a little catch-up. He drops this iconic line, "You've got a prettier ex-girlfriend." I love him. I love him so much. Seoul goes on a joint MT with the PE majors. She's super awkward around Sunjae. Seoul loses a drinking game and has to hit some killer dance moves in front of the PE majors. Meanwhile, Eclipse had a job at FF, and I feel so bad for them. I don't know. I'm a FF hater, I'm sorry. If you know, you know. Seoul gets drunk, and she and Sunjae have a bit of a heart-to-heart where she begs him to throw her away, to forget about her and never save her, to stop letting terrible things happen to him just for her sake. Sunjae carries her back to the cabin when drunk Im-Seol starts to sing Sonagi. And he's like, what the fuck? How do you know my song? My song that I've never shown anyone besides my bestie. The killer sets fire to his killer house. Sunjae is waiting outside of Seoul's house to confront her about how the fuck she knows his song. She tells him she's from the future. He says, where are you going? To your time? Did you really come from the future? Then Sunjae, out of pettiness, is like, no need to avoid me, no need to leave, because I'm going to the States for physical therapy. Seoul gives another statement to the police and runs into Sunjae at class, then at a restaurant. We get this super awkward under the table scene, and later on we get the iconic sad scene outside of Seoul's house where Sunjae confronts her about her feelings towards him, saying, to me, the past you, the future you, it's all the same. But you, in all the times you've lived, did you ever like me? Not even for a second? Iconic. Then she absolutely destroys him by saying, yeah, so Taesung goes to Seoul's school to give her back some stuff. Seoul learns that Taesung is the detective's son, and Taesung is like, I'm worried, I heard about the kidnapping, girl, what's up? Seoul opens up to him saying she's from the future and he must let his dad in 2023 protect Sunjae, not her. to save Sanjay from the killer's retribution. Taesung walks her home, and when they get to her place, it's leaking water from the roof. Sanjay is already inside helping out her family, so the boys have a little cat fight while holding buckets. Then they all have a sleepover. On April 10th, the day Sanjay booked his plane ticket to go to America, the day the Eclipse members participate in the music talent show, Seoul learns that today is the day Sanjay is leaving. She seems sad, but knows it's what needs to be done. She's walking home when a truck starts to follow her. She's spooked, convinced it's the killer. Then in front of her, suddenly, it's Sanjay. He didn't get on his flight. Why are you here? You're supposed to leave. Why? 'Cause you like me. I know it. I know it all. Why you pushed me away. I know everything now. That's why I came to hold on to you. Then he pulls out the watch she put in the time capsule, connecting all of the weird combos he's had with her, and is like, you're here to save me. In 2023, I die, right? She shakes her head while crying, unable to admit it herself. The music stops. Sanjay says, by any chance, do I die because of you trying to save you? She's crying and crying. If that's the reason, then Soul, stop running away and just like me. Music starts again. This time, a sorrowful song plays. If I die saving you, it's okay. I don't care. Soul is crying. Sanjay's crying. I'm crying. He kisses her. There is a lot of fluffy pieces next, mainly about them being a little CC, matching a couple of rings, the cherry blossom moment, and their accidental sleepover. They have their Romeo and Juliet moments. On April 18th, the killer is spotted on CCTV, and the boys have a sleepover. April 19th, the police catch the killer, but he escapes. Sanjay sings Sonagi for Seoul and gets the CEO's card, so his future as a celebrity is intact. Seoul tells the police to be ready for May 10th, the D-Day, and Sanjay overhears, so now he's anxious and also getting ready to protect Seoul. Sanjay is on edge. May 6th, Busan trip, which turns into a sleepover with Seoul being like, I like you, I wanted to say it one more time, and Sanjay is like, no, but I love you. Then Seoul has this convo about her having to go back to her real timeline soon, and that Sanjay shouldn't be too sad. The next day, they are on a bus to go back home. Then Seoul pulls the worst thing ever and fakes going back in time, becoming the clueless teenager, her who doesn't know Sanjay. She gets off the train and Sanjay is just left there crying. Then we see the killer also getting off at the same stop as her. Yay! Once Sanjay gets home, he realizes she's just faking it. She's just full of shit. And he needs to get back there. He needs to get his ass back to Busan and save Seoul. Seoul hits up the detective and tells him what's up, that she needs him to come there because the killer is going to strike soon. May 7th, 5 a.m. Seoul is playing as the bait for the killer, while the detectives watch from afar. The plan gets messed up, and instead of Seoul confronting the killer, it's Sanjay. Sanjay and the killer are fighting by a cliff when Sanjay gets stabbed. Luckily, Seoul and the detectives come in time to apprehend the killer, but not fast enough to stop Sanjay from falling off the cliff and into the ocean. Sanjay is dead. Seoul is watching yet again as his body is being dragged away in front of her. She sees the watch on his limp arm and gets an idea. She rushes over, clicks the button on his watch, and is sent back in time. And this is where the third hour ends and the final hour begins. The final hour. Seoul is transported to her and Sanjay's first ever meeting. Seoul stops herself from ever going over to Sanjay in the rain, and so Sanjay doesn't fall in love with her. She somehow gets her family to move houses. Within the time frame that she's there, Sunjae debuts as an idol but never wrote Sonagi. Taesung and Seol never dated. She travels back to 2023 and lives a normal, boring life for close to a year. During that time, she wrote her and Sunjae's love story into a movie script called Time Walking on Memory. Now it's December 7th, 2023. She's BFF with Taesung, who's a cop, and her yellow scarf is now white. Just like her colorless heart, or insert preferred metaphor here. Seol writes a scandalous resignation letter when she accidentally gives to her boss. So she's on a mission to get it back before her boss sees it. Her boss is at a film festival, so she has to sneak in and steal it. The entire time, the idol, Sunjae, is watching her and goes to stop her. When Seol falls off the stairs, he catches her. Then he goes, "Why are you crying? I didn't make you cry." He said the thing back! This is their first ever meeting in the final hour. Her script is sent to Sunjae without her knowing. Sunjae cries while reading it and is overtaken by his emotions. He has to be in it. Sunjae, Seol, and her boss all meet about the script. Seol rejects the shit out of him, saying, "If you ever see my name on a script in the future, please reject it." Sunjae on his car ride back is like, "Why do I need to crawl back to someone who passed on me?" Then is outside of her place of work with a puppy dog smile on, hoping to convince her. December 13th, Sunjae keeps on having weird nightmares after reading Seol's script. Seol's grandmother goes missing and ends up at Sunjae's father's famous restaurant. Sunjae takes her back to Seol's house and is waiting outside of Seol's place in his fancy car. Because of the grandma, he learned that him and Seol were next door neighbors back in high school. Seol and him hang out for a bit, giving Sunjae yet again a new wave of weird flashbacks. During their hangout, Sunjae says, "Apparently we used to be neighbors. Did you ever see me?" Seol says, "No, never." He says, "I wonder if I saw you. I thought maybe that's why you look so familiar. Whether we've met before or not, it might be fate at this point." Seol, who has been trying so hard to avoid him in this life, is struggling to keep him away. Seol resigns from her job, trying to keep Sunjae away from her. She goes to an amusement park that in the last timeline they had a date in to reminisce about their time together. She gets on this Ferris wheel, then Sunjae comes out of nowhere. Apparently he was there for a shoot, but kept on feeling like a sense of deja vu. When he sees Seol, he just had to follow her. Now they are on the Ferris wheel together. He asks if that's really how the movie ends, as it's a sad ending where the male lead forgets all about the female lead, being like, "It's a sad ending." Seol retorts, from her perspective, it's a happy one, since he's alive. But she loses her love. It's a sad ending. Then she passes out. Seol wakes up in Sunjae's house. Sunjae gets jealous over Taesung's relationship with Seol, even though he's just investigating a murderer who had tried to kidnap Sunjae's stalker fan. The next day, Sunjae goes to drop off beds for Seol, and we get this silly moment where he hides in the slide. Seol's nephew throws up on Sunjae, so now he's naked in her house. He changes his shirt and calls Seol pretty. Once he leaves her apartment, the killer sees him and gives him the stink eye. Taesung, In-hyuk, and Sunjae all meet up because Taesung wants Sunjae's black box because it'll have info about the killer on it. Sunjae, after hearing about the killer for the first time in this lifetime, starts to get more unexplainable flashbacks. Sunjae and Seol's production company meet over the movie once again. He brings up wanting to change the ending of the movie. Seol is against it. Afterwards, Sunjae follows Seol, wanting to see her off to her taxi. She's like, "Bro, why are you into me?" And he's like, "Well, I guess I am interested." She then goes on an emotional rant, trying to push him away, saying, "There's someone I love so much, that's why it can't be you. So please stop trying to get close to me." Seol ends up quitting her job for real, and the producer of her movie is now changed so that she no longer has any connections to Sunjae. Taesung is hot on the killer's trail. Seol listens to Sunjae's demo of Sonagi for her movie and recalls the words her grandma once said to her, "Memories may fade, but the soul never forgets." it holds onto them. Later that night, Taesung finds the killer and engages in a high-speed chase. Vroom, vroom. Sunjae's memories from every single timeline, 0 o'clock, the first hour, second hour, third hour, all suddenly come back. He's dizzy and stumbling all over the place, accidentally walking onto the road. The killer sees Sunjae ahead and presses down on the gas pedal. Taesung sees this, and like the good person he is, he swerves his car into the killer's car, injuring the both of them but saving Sunjae. Taesung and the killer get out of their cars in a second. Chase starts. The killer gets hit by ongoing traffic and is thrown into the river below, finally dying, ending Seol's and Sunjae's vicious cycle once and for all. I truly hope that the truck room was not of the isekai variety. I'm a killer who got reincarnated into BL harem. Better not be a manhwa, I see. Later that night in the hospital now, Sunjae wakes up. All that is on his mind is his girl Seol. He needs to find her. He pulls out his IV drip and runs like Sunjae has never ran before. Meanwhile, Seol is in a taxi when on the radio she hears the news that the killer is finally gone for good and that Sunjae is in the hospital. Scared and concerned, she gets out of the car and runs towards the hospital. Both out of breath, anxious, and ever so sweaty, they finally meet each other. Sunjae is the one to break their silence. Were you on your way to see me because of the accident? No? Then why are you crying? I remember everything. How could you have tried to erase you from me? How could you have made me live without you? I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry for forgetting you. He embraces her. Their eyes are both filled with tears that have accumulated over the 5 timelines. Finally, they kiss. Then comes the happy moments for them finally being free from the ill-fated relationship. Cute moment! Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And then they get married. And that's how Lovely Runner ends. Lovely Runner is based off of the 2021 manhwa Tomorrow's Best, aka Neil Utum, which is an adaptation of the 2020 web novel of the same name. The author's pen name is Kim Pang, and the artist for the manhwa is Dung Dung. Kim Pang specializes in modern romances. The author's first ever published work is Coming Step in 2019. Afterwards, they wrote Record Sunwoo, High Summer, The World That Met You, Summer Vacation, The Season That Loved You, History of Shame, and eventually Tomorrow's Best. Reading through her book's descriptions, you can really pick up on her niche. The themes of first love and youth are very prominent. The artist Dung Dung hasn't had many works under their name. They're accredited for working on some of the series of Lobo Dung Dung 듣고 싶냐 보여줄게, aka Do You Want to Hear It? I'll Show You. The manhwa released 50 chapters between 2020 and 2022, which are the chapters I had read way back when. The manhwa went on hiatus for 2 years while the show was in production. It wasn't until early 2024 that the manhwa had started again. The webtoon finished with 81 chapters on October 29th, 2024, months after the K-drama ended. The manhwa's version of events is very different from the K-drama. Okay, I know this is supposed to be a deep dive, but I really didn't want to have to reread it. So we're going off of my memories from like a year ago. Well, longer than that. Comment below if I missed anything, because I probably did. Thank you. The story still follows Im Sol from time traveling to save her favorite idol, Ryu Sanjae, from ending his life. Quite a lot of things are different. Seol is not paralyzed from the waist down. The watch that sends her back in time was actually a gift from a mysterious man, and he eventually tries to take it back. The manhwa focuses a lot on Sunjae's life as an idol trainee. Him being a swimmer is not a thing. And the most drastic change is that in the manhwa, Taesung does not exist. The manhwa places a lot of emphasis on the trio of Seol, Sunjae, and In-hyuk. The manhwa plays a lot into the whole idol aspect of Sunjae. We get introduced to their shitty CEO and the other bandmate. In this regard, the K-drama purposely leaves the reason why Sunjae did the things he did a bit ambiguous. It never comes out and says why he felt this way. We can infer it, but that's kind of it. The webtoon tackles this with a bit more clarity, having shown us, like I said, his working conditions, his friendship conditions, and also his strained relationship with his first love. The drama never gives us a decisive reason to why. Instead, like I said, we have to infer with what we're given. The love of his life, Sol, blames him for her miserable life despite being saved by him from an actual serial killer. His real dream of becoming a swimmer was suddenly taken away from him. He has a bad relationship with his father. He has a lot of haters, etc. We can see why not taking care of yourself, it could easily snowball into the negative emotional state that Sunjae was in the first couple of timelines. Yeah, so I might have some reading comprehension skills. In the OST for Sunjae Oko Trio, there are 53 songs in total. Disc 3 contains your instrumental backtracking songs. Okay, but like imagine Holy Moly playing at my funeral. It'd be kind of lit. Disc 2 contained your OSTs by IRL singers. It includes Like a Dream by Minnie from Idol. Her song is played a lot during the sad times. Star by N Flying, which plays when Sol is literally running towards Sunjae. This disc is also the one with the Lovely Runner song, Spring Snow by 10 centimeters. Or is it 10 cm? How do you say his name? Spring Snow goes, 'cause I'm falling slowly in love with you. You are the spring I've waited for a long time, 'cause I'm falling slowly in love with you. Even if it gets erased again, all my life is you. Spring Snow is played at almost every romantic scene. You know when you hear, 'cause I'm falling slowly in love with you, shit is about to happen. You're about to cry. And also your heart's about to burst. It's 2 in 1, really. If scare-roused is when you're scared and also aroused, what is it called when you're sad but also aroused? Soud, but also horny. Sorty. Sorty. Spring Snow makes you snorty. Babe, put the strap on down. I'm feeling snorty. Instead, can you play Marley and Me while we fuck?
Bruh.
Can you play March of the Penguins while we fuck? For me, the best K-drama OSTs goes like this. The one from Boys Over Flowers, then Spring Snow, then... And this is a really random one, okay? So you have to hear me out. My third favorite K-drama OST is Romance is a Bonus Book. K-drama, but that song? Disc 1 on the OST soundtrack contains the original songs by the in-show K-pop group Eclipse. The group has 4 members. Wooseok as the main vocal, Lee Sung-hyup as the guitarist, Moon Shi-yeon aka Moon Young-sok, who is from Lee Shiel, who is the drummer, and lastly, Young Yuk aka Gun from Omega X, who is the bassist. This is why Lovely Runner is so fucking cool. The director said, yeah, Byung-wook, yeah, you could be the lead, but only if you head over and get some singing lessons, because I want Sunjae to actually sing. And Byung-wook was like, yes ma'am, and he went and got singing lessons. They turned the model turned actor into a singer. I love them for that. If you go over to Eclipse's Spotify page, you will see that they have over 1.4 million monthly listeners. For context, Lee Sung-hyup, who is from N Flying, their group only has 500,000. Eclipse has 5 songs in total. Sudden Shower, Run Run, You and I, No Fate, and I'll Be There. The first 2 songs I mentioned are the most Lovely Runner songs to ever. Lovely, run, run, and running again. Verse 2 of Run, Run goes, I'm changing you who was clumsy. Burn it up with all the passion you've endured. It's burning hot. Bye bye the past days of tears. Hi, I've been waiting for you right now. Zero, who's worried? Chicken Taro running and running and running again. This song is about overcoming hardships, running to each other in every timeline, trying to find happiness together. It's Sunjae and Seol's devotion and trust in each other. The song Sudden Shower is the song that in the K-drama Sunjae wrote about his first meeting with Seol. The title, the lyrics, everything is in reference to that. So in Korean, the word sonagi refers to this really intense and fast rain sprouts that happens during the rainy season, which is like summer and a little bit of spring. It'd be like 30 degrees, hot as balls, sunny, and then suddenly clouds would come out of nowhere, pour down monstrous amounts of rain. They're droplets, heavy as shit. Even if you're covered, your body will still get soaked in water, just to suddenly disappear as fast as it appeared. Sonagi is quick, it's random, it's increasingly fast, it's wet, it's sticky, it's slightly uncomfortable, and more than anything, it's intense. Sonagi is the perfect metaphor for Sunjae and Seol's relationship. The song goes, I didn't want it to stop on the day you first came to me. I hope it's not the kind of rain that soaks you for a while. I've been desperately hoping you were like a gift given by the sky. In a world where I stand alone, I will protect you. One day, sudden like a shower, although you were the one who got off, I'm calling you again today, a precious person to me. Painful memories that I wanted to forget, just let it go with the raindrops, even if I'm tired. Sometimes, even if the sky is cloudy, don't forget that I exist. You are love, one and only love. There will never be a love like yours again. I don't forget even the little memories you gave me. I'm engraving it today too. You are a gift to me. The lyrics are about Sunjae having soul in his heart even if it's painful. It shows just how much thought was put into the OST. It's so beautiful. Sudden Shower is so good as it encapsulates the emotions of every single timeline that Sunjae and Seol go through. In the 0 o'clock timeline, it's bitter with a terrible ending and no sweetness. Each timeline it gets a little bit sweeter and sweeter, and with it, Sonagi becomes not a burdensome reminder of all the painful and strong emotions that they've been through, but rather a gift from the sky, reminding them to cherish all the little memories they've made, engraving it into their hearts, reinforcing their endless love for each other. In an interview with Kim Soo-yoon, the writer of the OST songs, he says, I believe that the songs in Lovely Runner imbued the drama with heightened emotional depth, intertwining with the intricacies of the plot line. The visual artistry and crafted scenes served as a captivating visual backdrop, beautifully complementing the music. Notably, the song, Sudden Shower, assumes a central role in connecting the characters Sunjae and Seol, particularly in the scene when Seol surprises Sunjae by singing the song. Also, the performance of Run Run by the band Eclipse at the stadium evoked a sense of nostalgia, reminiscence of my own band days. My guy, let me tell you, you succeeded. Oh yeah, you did. On May 23rd, in the Hyundai Seoul department store in Yeouido, a pop-up Lovely Runner store emerged, attracting hundreds of fans. A line longer than the list of diagnoses I have wrapped around the hallway of the mall. The pop-up store had scenes from the show displayed and those large people-sized cutouts of Sunjae all over the place. They had small versions of the iconic backdrops. They had lots and lots of merch you could buy. The iconic yellow umbrella, Sunjae fan merch from his idol days, Sunjae and Seol's school IDs, posters, photo cards, couple rings, necklaces, t-shirt, tote bags, and my personal favorite are these cute character fans. If I ever got a hands on you, I would die happy, or these cool uniform name tags of the main cast. The pop-up store went on to have another one in Bangkok that June and later installations in other cities across Asia to follow. Imagine getting your hands on like a life-size cutout of Sunjae, the yellow umbrella, and the school uniform name tags. If I had all of those, I would cosplay hard. After the show ended, you could buy the OST album and also the script of the TV show, which is common in K-dramas. An extra fun surprise for fans was that wooseok got a photo frame of him in a school uniform mimicking his photo shoot with Seol as Sunjae from Lovely Runner. And yes, before you ask, I did get one. It's so silly. The size of wooseok is crazy. I've never had an idol frame look like this before. It's so ridiculous. In the neighborhood I was living in, there was only one photoism booth, which just so happened to be near the high school. And when I went there, there was a group of high schoolers and they were all just watching me with the biggest side eye. I was so embarrassed, but I still got it anyways. He also got a follow-up photoism photo frame where he's a bit more cool. Huh? But like, why is he got a shovel? In July, Song Gong-hee also got a photoism photo frame as well, though it is a bit less cool than Wooseok's one. Another unexpected outcome of the show was the rise in popularity in visiting the city Suwon, a city about an hour away from Seoul. When fans discovered that Im-seol's In-show house was actually a coffee shop in Suwon, suddenly it was flooded with visitors. Places like 중앙고등학교, 춘천대교, 몬테드, 쇠꽃집, 부천 삼성로, 송산로 22길, 남동분식, 익순촌 all started to see more tourists after the show. Both Korean and foreigner fans were flocking to take pictures and reminisce about scenes from their favorite romantic K-drama. A trend that left the fandom and went a bit more mainstream was copying Seoul's cringe-ass dance that she did for Taesung's birthday. People would recreate it and often do it in like an early 2000s or like 90s vibe. The cast of Lovely Runner, mainly the leads, went on to do a lot of interviews, including many different YouTube interviews like the Salon Drip, which has over 17 million views. In the Salon Drip interview, Kim Ye-yoon says something about how she realized how big Lovely Runner was when she would see reaction videos on her YouTube page getting so many views.
야, 이러고 끝나는 건 아니지, 설마? 에?
In his Jewel Box interview, he also says something about how he has been told no and that he won't make it like 1,000 times. But there was one person who told him in like 4 or 5 years, you will make it, you just have to keep going. And it's crazy because it was within the same time frame that Lovely Runner happened. Clips of their interviews were going viral. Fans were reading into their every interaction, scripted or non-scripted, on-screen, off-screen. Fans wanted to know. Similarly, clips of behind the scenes were also making their round on social media. Fan cam edits of that week's romantic scenes set to pop music was on everyone's FYP. I would also get a lot of Kim Ye-yoon with Rowoon versus Kim Ye-yoon with Wooseok edits where they were like, oh, her and Rowoon from Extraordinary You, they're best friends. They're like chill, they're homies. But her with Wooseok, oh, now they're in love. Look at the way he laughs with her. Look at the way he cares for her. In fact, there was a lot of comparison between these two shows. Comparing one popular show, Extraordinary You, with another popular show, Lovely Runner, just made both of them more popular. Another big fandom hyperfixation was on their height difference. Fans just gobbled this up. Another set of fuel that was added to this already fiery pit of hell that is this fandom was the pre-filmed scenes that eventually got refilmed with a new style and with a new direction. At first, the director kind of wanted to embrace like, oh, this is Y2K. So he gave Seoul the ugliest haircut ever and then realized, oh, the heartthrob, soon-to-be idol has to fall head over heels in love with her at first glance. So she kind of has to be hot. So then he changed her hairstyle and he kind of changed the filter to be more bright, more saturation, and thank fucking God because that hair was nasty. Ew. Showing this change in direction really gave fans more reasons to lash on the artistic direction that they ended up going with. It really, even just for me, made me appreciate how colorful yet sad the end product was. Some of the most heartthrob moments in Lovely Runner were the glimpses that we would get from Sunjay's POV. At the end of every few episodes, we would get his POV of something that happened either in that timeline or something prior. As the story is told from Seol's perspective, we don't really get to learn how he feels or what is going on his side of things. So when we do get this change in POV, it gives us such a lasting impression. We would learn that Sanjay is a very clumsy guy. He is way more shy than he lets on. The cringe behind doors is real. He's more giggly than any fangirl could be. These moments blew up on TikTok. Sanjay's POV would give us a sliver of the truth untold. For example, when he goes on his date that isn't a date with Seol in the second timeline, after she leaves and goes inside, he starts throwing kisses at him. I saw that everywhere. Everyone was like, oh my god, he's so in love with her. And they were right because he is. Wooseok being this kind of cold exterior 6'3" guy and then playing Sanjay really made you go, what is he thinking? We don't know why he's going along with Seol's crazy and insane antics for so long until we get his POV. Then you go, oh, he is just as insane as she is. Like, he's matches her freak so much. He is so clumsy, he is so goofy, and he is so in love. The fans were hooked. Fans had so many theories at the beginning on why the cool, hard-to-read idol that Seol traveled back in time to save went along with her antics. And for the longest time, I was even debating, did he time travel too? It is his watch that sends him back in time, so maybe. But then there was this one fan theory of maybe he didn't end his own life in the first timeline, but rather the killer did.
So there's one thing for me that Lovely Runner didn't fully answer, and that's what happened to Sanjay in the original timeline. And I have a theory as to why this ended up getting left sort of up for interpretation. So there are really two options as to what happened. Either he self-exited, as the media and the cops and everybody sort of concluded, and as Seol thought when she went back in time, or it was always the taxi driver. Now, I absolutely, while watching the show, did not think he really self-exited because of that doorbell. Right before he goes over the balcony, there's a doorbell, that somebody rings his doorbell behind him. That is clear, obvious evidence to me that something else happened. But this never totally made sense to me, because how would they then so quickly conclude that he self-exited? Like, why wouldn't there be signs of a struggle? Why wouldn't they have CCTV footage of somebody ringing his doorbell? And also, why would Mr. Killer Man ring his doorbell? That's his, really? So I was expecting to get a scene explaining that, but we didn't. And here's my theory as to what actually happened. I think that doorbell was added in post. I think originally they did intend for him to self-exit, that was going to be conclusively what had happened, and she would then go back in time and whatever, she's revising everything, she's making his life not such a tragedy, fine. But originally that was what had happened. I think when the controversy started online, when people were calling for a boycott of the show before it even aired, I think they went back in and added that doorbell, because he doesn't react to the doorbell in the scene. It's just a sound effect. It very easily could have been added later, an easy fix for them to imply it's not really a self-exit, so that they can just avoid all that heat they were getting before the show aired. And that would explain why we never really got back to it, because that scene didn't exist. It wasn't something they shot. It wasn't something they had originally planned to do. Anyway, obviously I have no evidence or proof or anything for this. It's just my marketing brain and my production brain thinking about an easy fix to address this thing online that by the time we get to the end, hopefully everyone will just have forgotten about. We'll never know the truth, but that's my theory.
Fans had their thinking caps on. It would explain why we hear his doorbell ring in the 0 o'clock timeline. I do like her theory. It makes a lot of sense. The controversy she mentions happened prior to the show coming out, with netizens criticizing the show for disrespecting late idols, namely the late Jonghyun of SHINee. The criticism, completely fair. I so understand why fans would be hypercritical of the show coming out. Topics like this really need to be handled with a certain care and respect. Another huge trend I saw from the fandom was comparing Gong-hee to other lookalike celebrities who have his signature gummy smile, namely IN from Stray Kid and the late Moonbin. This next part will be a serious shift in tone, a trigger warning. The next few minutes will contain heavy talks of suicide, so if you need to, please skip ahead. We will get back to the fandom stuff shortly. And also, if you or a loved one is having a hard time, please don't hesitate to reach out to your friends, your family to rely on. I have left a hotline in the description below. The future will get better, don't lose hope. Moonbin was a member of the group Astro, who suddenly and sadly ended his own life in April 18th, 2023 at the young age of 25. The parallels of him and Lovely Runner is very obvious. The parallels with Lovely Runner and any late celebrity who has struggled with mental health is evident. When Gong Hee's character was first introduced, I saw a lot of edits being like, oh, doesn't he remind you of someone? I truly hope that grieving fans find some sort of comfort in Lovely Runner. To all of Moonbin's fans, or any fans who have gone through a hardship, Lovely Runner was based off of the ideas to comfort fans. And I hope it was able to do that job in your eyes to some extent. In an interview I saw, I think it was wooseok who said something like, Sunjae Opgo Twio is a show that many fans who've gone through something can relate to. They want their favorites to be healthy, to be happy, to have a good life. And I think that's why the show is so powerful. Moonbin, Songhyun, rest in peace. We miss you, and you'll never be forgotten. The conclusion of Lovely Runner brought a newfound cultural relevance. The song Sunday Sings Sonagi entered the Billboard Global 200 chart, the only K-drama OST to do so, except for Christmas Tree, but we don't talk about that one. In Norebangs, it reached the top 100 most played song, and I swear last time I looked, it was at number 23. I did not screenshot it, and now it gives me a 404 error, so trust my word or don't. When I was in Korea last summer, every time I stepped into a cafe, you could not stay there for more than 10 minutes without hearing Sonagi or Spring Snow at least playing once. Like, it was everywhere, and it still is everywhere. Sun and Shower had a chokehold on us, and honestly, I kind of didn't mind because I'm kind of a masochist like that. The OST won the Asian Artist Awards for the Best OST, the Mellow Music Awards for the Best OST, and the Mama Awards for Favorite Global Trending Music. Eclipse also talked about potentially coming together to make another album or to do a tour. Ooh. They could do this concept. Okay, hear me out. Where like Byung Woo-suk is like torn between two of his bandmates. And one of the bandmates can be like a wolf, and the other one could be like a vampire or something, and he has to choose what size to go. And they could do like this weird grayscale where everyone looks kind of dead, but in kind of in a sexy way, but also like, why did they do that? It's so blue and so gray. Oh, that could be good. And then maybe you can tie that into the whole eclipse thing. Like, since it's an eclipse, you can name it like moon something, like because it's old moon, no. Full moon, no. Yeah, but I like that idea. Byung Woo-suk was nominated for the Baeksang Artist for Best Actor, Asian Artist Award for the Best Actor of that year, which he won, Best Actor Award in Television/Film, which he won, Asian Celebrity Award Television, Best Couple in Popularity Award, which he won, Asian Content Awards and Global OTT Awards for People's Choice Award, which he won, Korea Drama Awards for Hot Star, which he won, APAN Star Awards for Top Excellence Award Actor in Miniseries, and APAN Star Awards for Best Couple, which he won. Byung Woo-suk went from 900k followers on Instagram to 10 million in the matter of days. He opened a bubble on May 9th, 2024. He went on an Asian fan meeting tour titled Summer Letter on June 8th, having 12 shows in 8 cities, selling out completely an audience of 40K. He would pull audience members on stage and hit the iconic Sanjae Seoul photo booth pose with them, or the pedal scene. Woo-suk also performed Sudden Shower live at the 2024 Mama Awards. He made a cameo in the show No Gain No Love, playing a convenience store worker. Byung Woo-suk also became a brand and model ambassador for many brands, so we're gonna rush through this one too, okay? So here it is. In March 2024, he became the brand ambassador for Discovery Expedition Korea. In June 2024, it was for LG household and healthcare and beauty brand Psychogen. In June, it was the wireless portable lifestyle screen IG Stand By Me. In July, he worked with Nonghyuk Bank, Clinique, Dashu. In August, it was with Youthmole. In September, it was with Job Korea and Albumon. In November, it was Ilum, Idea, Olens. Kyoton Chicken, Giordano, Prada, and Cartier. Hyun Woo-seok's extreme change in popularity did not come without some sort of controversy. This brings us to Airport Gate. On June 26, Woo-seok was in the Incheon International Airport lounge when his bodyguards allegedly shone a bright light at an ordinary traveler who glanced at Byung Woo-seok, mistaking them for aggressive fans taking videos or pictures. I mean, technically they were taking pictures and videos because we have evidence of this, but like it's not the actions I would think a crazed fan would do. It's kind of just giving ordinary civilian who saw a celebrity and was like, oh, that's cool, I'm gonna tell my bestie about that, but like they're not screaming, they're not crying, they're not throwing up. This act was deemed as excessive precaution and was heavily criticized after a video of the said action surfaced. Hyun Woo-seok gave a heartfelt apology, and that was that. I do think, like, yeah, the bodyguard was being weird, but considering how fast his popularity skyrocketed, I kind of don't blame the guy for being overprotective. There were other videos that came out afterwards showing how disorderly and aggressive the fans were being, getting regular people mixed up in their chaos. So it kind of backs this theory up. It kind of felt like to me that the news wanted to throw a punch at the new hotshot. Like, was the bodyguard in the right? No, hell no. Like, put that flashlight away, my guy. His popularity is no joke. There were videos of him pre-Lovely Runner era and the post-Lovely Runner era at Incheon Airport, and God, it went from like 5 people to 5,000,000, I can't even count. Look, this is a small niche group of people, of fangirls. Fast forward 6 months later, post-Lovely Runner, and the airport is full. This is like as much as you would get for, I don't know, Blackpink. Hyun Woo-seok kind of reminds me of like Chapel Roan. Like, he's been in the industry, he kind of knows a lot of people, he's already very reputable in what he's done, but then he just became so famous so quickly internationally that it's overwhelming. Hyun Woo-seok is set to star in a K-drama coming out in the later half of this year. The show is titled 21st Century Grand Prince's Wife, where he will play Lee-han, a prince of the 20th century constitutional monarchy in Korea, who meets a commoner who is smart and hot, played by the all-rounder baddie herself, IU. My favorite piece of work Hyun Woo-seok has done in 2025 is this beautiful, romantic 5-minute short film that's actually a mattress ad. He's also been on a lot of variety shows since Lovely Runner, including episode 704 of Running Man, which happened on May 12th of 2024, and You Quiz on the Block episode 245 on May 22nd. Now going on to Kim Hye-yoon. She was nominated for a lot of things in 2024. The ones that she did win are as followed. Are you ready? Haphan Star Award for Best Couple, Popularity Award Actress, Asian Artist Award Best Couple Award, Best Actor Award, Popularity Award Actress, Best Artist Award, Asian Contents Award, and Global OTT Awards for People's Choice Award, Brand of the Year Awards for Actress Hot Trend, Seoul International Drama Awards for Outstanding Asian Star, Korean Popularity Award Female, Culture and Artistic Innovation Award, National Assembly Culture, Sports and Tourism Committee Award, 100 Next Generation led by Sisa Journal. She and Byung Woo-seok basically swept all the awards that year. If Lovely Runner didn't take home the award, then Queen of Tears did, and we know how that one ended. Yikes. Kim Hye-yoon went on a fan tour in July of 2024 called Yappiness. She went to 5 cities around Asia. She also became the representative for Siro in April, then for Jinsi brand, Dongkwanjang in August, the rep for Racket in August too, the rep for Kodiak Apparel in October, then lastly the model for Peral skin booster product that same month. She is set to star in the 2026 K-drama Human for Today, where she'll play Eunho, the quirky Gumi, aka like the 9-tailed fox thingy, who loves being youthful forever, but then after an incident with the famous yet douchey soccer player, she becomes human. Her co-star is the Uzbekistan-born South Korean model / actor named Solomon Park. Song Gong-hee won Brand of the Year award for Actor Rising Star. He also had a cameo on Family by Choice. He opened a Bubble account on April 8, 2025 and got the nickname Onigiri, as his bob hair and his white face reminded fans of the Rice Triangle. Lovely Runner took risks. It heavily deviated from its source. It casted a bunch of nobodies, reshot major scenes just to get the vibes right. For God's sake, they made their own K-pop group for the show. They made merch on top of merch, changed actors' career for the better, told a compelling story of star-crossed lovers who equally play the hero in each other's lives, all while comforting fans and giving them this source of nostalgia around the world. Sunjae Opgo Twil's legacy is lustrous. It's nostalgic. It kind of reminds me of an abrupt wave that washes over you and drenches you from head to toe in this all-consuming, chaotic, but lovely mess. It's like a summer's day and the intense and sudden rain shower that follows it. Thank you for watching. It's been Delifish. Love you!